So moving on to the examples of maximum power transfer theorem. First, we'll go with the first example. Determine the value of RL which will result in maximum power transfer to RL and calculate the maximum power. So we have to find the value of RL also, and we have to find the value of maximum power also. So this is the first example. So first, by seeing the network, you have to determine which case it is. Okay. Here the source is 10 volts and the load is RL. They have not given anything ZL. It is not mentioned as ZL. It is RL only. So both source, okay, both source and load are purely resistive. That is very important. Both source and load are purely resistive. That means what? It is case 1. Getting it? We have gone for the case 1. So after going for the case 1, you have to see what are the formulas. First check the network and determine which case it is. Next put on the formula. So for case 1, what is the maximum transfer formula? PM is equal to square divided by 4RL, and RL is equal to R naught. So these are the formulas. So by seeing the formula, what we have to know? We have to know what is E naught and we have to know what is RL. To know RL, we have to know what is R naught. Okay, these are the unknowns which we have to find. So first we'll, so in this formula, the numerator is E naught. So first we'll find out E naught, then we'll find out RL, then we'll substitute, then we'll get the maximum power transfer. So how to find out E naught? What do you mean by E naught? E naught is nothing but Thevenin's voltage. Okay, Thevenin's equivalent voltage, or it is a open circuit voltage. So how we solve the Thevenin's theorem? Thevenin's theorem is solved, or we can find out the voltage E naught by open circuiting the load terminal. So which is the load terminal here? RL is the load terminal. What we have to do? We have to open circuit it. Okay, that is been done here, and E naught is shown here. By open circuiting the load terminal, you have to find what is the voltage here. How to find out what is the voltage here? As usual, voltage depends on what parameters? It depends upon current and resistance. Fine. So we have a resistance here. How much it is? It is 10 ohm. So you have to find the current. How to find out the current? Go with the mesh analysis. Fine. How many meshes are there here? We have 3 meshes. I1, I2, I3 are the 3 currents which we are assuming, and all the currents are assumed in clockwise direction. Fine. And next, for mesh analysis, what we'll write? We'll write KVL. What that means? What we'll write? Voltage in terms of current and resistance. Okay, voltage in terms of current and resistance. If they have given voltage directly, you have to just mention the voltage. So here it is 10 volts. Okay, just write 10 volts, and our assumption, you take the current entering the polarity. So which polarity is entering? You write that sign. Okay. So I have written it as -10. Next it is 1 into I1. It is nothing but I1. And in this branch we have 2 currents. It is 6 into I1 minus I2. Since we are writing the equation for loop 1, mention the current I1 first. So it is 6 into I1 minus I2 is equal to 0. So this one represents a voltage. This also represents a voltage, and this also represents a voltage. That is current resistance. Current into resistance. This is the voltage source they have given. So you'll get one equation. How many unknowns are there? We have 3 currents. So I1, I2, I3 are the 3 unknowns. So you will get 3 equations. Okay, 3 equations are written here. For all the 3 loops, the 3 equations are written. Okay, once again I'll tell you for the second loop. What is the second loop here? 6 into I2 minus I1, 7 into I2 plus 5 into I2 minus I3 is equal to 0. So 3 equations, put all the 3 equations. Okay, get to find out the unknowns. Just substitute in the calculator, you will get the unknowns I1, I2, I3. So which is the important current now? Which current we want? We want I3. I3 is the current. So whatever I'll get I3 into 10 ohms will give me the voltage E0. So I3 is how much? It is 0.22 amps. So 0.22 amps into 10. Okay, we'll get the voltage E0. So we got E0. In maximum power transfer, now we found out E0. Next, what we want? We want RL. What they have given? RL is nothing but R0. So how to find out equivalent resistance in Thevenin's? In Thevenin's, what is the procedure? Looking from the load terminal. That is important. Okay, looking from the load terminal, if there are any voltage sources, they should be shorted, and if there are any current sources, they should be open circuited. So in our network, or in this given network, we have only one voltage source, so that has to be shorted. Only that much is to be done. So looking from the load terminal, it is shown here. Okay, so the voltage source is shorted here. So this is how the network looks like. Fine. So what we have to do, you have to just see that how the network is. Okay, you have to come from this left side. Okay, so 1 and 6 are in parallel, 1 and 6 in parallel, that is in series with 7. Okay, 1 into 6 divided by 1 plus 6. So whatever you get the answer, you have to add with 7. Okay, the answer which you will get, that should be paralleled with 5. Then that is in series with 2, that is in parallel with 10. So just follow that procedure. Okay, once again I will tell you, 1 and 6 are in parallel. Okay, these both are in parallel, that is in series with 7 ohm, that is in parallel with 5 ohm, that is in series with 2 ohm, and it is parallel with 10 ohm. So at last you will get the answer, that is 3.35. This 3.35 is the R naught. R naught is equal to RL in case 1. We have seen in case 1, R naught is equal to RL. So what will be RL now? RL is 3.35. So in the formula, PM is equal to E naught square divided by 4 RL. We found out E naught also, we found out RL also. Just substitute in the formula. So the maximum power transferred from source to load in case 1. That means when both load and source are purely resistive, the answer is 0.36 watt. Okay, you have to be careful to mention the unit. It is important for all resistance ohm, for all the voltage V, current amperes, and power watt, you have to mention it. That was the first case. Now we'll go with the next problem now. What should be the value of pure resistive load? See, they have mentioned here. What is the load? Load is purely resistive to be connected across terminals AB in the network so that maximum power is transferred to the load. So you have to find out what is the value of purely resistive load when it is connected between the terminals A and B they have given. And how is the source? The source is having impedance because it is of AC source. So the source is having impedance and load is purely resistive, means which case it is? It is case 2. So for case 2, first you write down the formula. PM is equal to IL square into RL. And what is RL? RL is magnitude of Z naught. This is for case 2. We have to remember this. It is, we have to take magnitude of Z naught. So first, whenever they give the network, check which how is the network and it belongs to which case. Since it is for case 2, the formula is written. So how to find out this load current? See, to find out the load current, you can go with both the methods. That means you can go with the short circuiting the load terminal and finding the Norton's current, or you can open circuit the load terminal and find the Thevenin's voltage. Both the methods I will show you now. You will understand it. First, we'll go with short circuiting. See here, this is off I have done with node analysis. If you can, you try it once. Complete problem is solved with mesh analysis only. So I'll go with first mesh. So this is the network. For mesh analysis, what we'll do, we'll just write the KVL. So these equations are important. It is this arrow mark is plus. Okay, head of the arrow is plus and tail is negative. So just assume the current I here. Assume it as I1 and this as IN or I2. I2 is nothing but IN. So two loops, two currents I am writing. Just write the equation now. It is entering negative, so it is minus 100 at an angle 0 plus J10 into I1. Okay, plus or minus of J20 into I1 minus I2. That is the equation. First mesh equation is written here. Minus 100 at an angle 0 plus J10 I1 minus J20 into I1 minus I2 is equal to 0. So this is the first equation which you will get. Similarly, write the loop equation for second loop. It is minus J20 into I2 minus I1 plus J10 into I2. Only two things, plus J10 into I2 is equal to 0. So two unknowns, two equations, substitute them. See, this is we are going with J terms. You can't substitute the equation directly. You have to find out the determinant. Fine. This is the determinant written. First find out the delta. Delta is nothing but minus J10 into J10 minus of J20 into J20. That is written here. So you'll get delta as 300. And which current is important for us? You need not go to find all the currents. We want current, that is I2, because by knowing I2 we'll come to know what is Norton's current, IN. Okay, so we will find out only I2. So to find out I2 you have to find out delta 2. How to find out delta 2? You have to just substitute 100 at an angle 0. The constant should be substituted in the second column. That is important. The first column is written as usual. Okay, it is same. And in second column we'll write the constants. After writing the constants, just multiply. Minus J20 into 0 is 0. The next term is minus of 100 at an angle 0 into J20. Just substitute how with the brackets in your calculator, you will get delta 2. So what is the formula for I2? I2 is equal to delta 2 divided by delta. You'll get I2 as minus 6.66 I अथवा minus J 6.66 amperes. This is the Norton's current. That is important. I2 is nothing but IN, or it is written in the polar form. So we got the Norton's current now, but we want still load current. Okay, that is not done. Still we have found out only Norton's current. Next what we'll do, we'll find out the equivalent impedance. How to find out the equivalent impedance? Looking from the load terminal. So what we have in the network, we have a voltage source, right? So this voltage source is shorted here. Looking from the load terminal, the voltage source is short circuited here. Okay. So we are left out only with J10, J10 and minus J20. So looking from the load terminal, this both are how? This both resistors or impedances are in parallel, and that is in series with J10. Getting it? So it is J10 into minus J20 divided by J10 plus minus J20 plus J10. Okay, J10 is in series. This both are in parallel. We will get an answer for that. That answer is in series with J10. So the total equivalent impedance is nothing but J30. See, this is the whatever we are getting is the total impedance. That is nothing but Z0. So what is ZL? Athva what is RL? RL is magnitude of Z0. So what is the magnitude? Just remove the J term. It is only 30. See, only they have given J magnitude as 30. See, if it is like this, if it is A plus IB, but I have seen if it is A plus IB, here we have only IB here, that is nothing but JB. Okay, B is 30. If we have A plus IB, its magnitude is how much? It is root of A square, okay, A square plus B square. Okay, that is the magnitude. You have to know the how to find out the magnitude. Here we don't have any real term. It is we have only imaginary term. So we have written RL is equal to 30. I square is minus 1. Okay, it is not plus, it becomes minus here. So that is the, after finding the magnitude, just write minus ma. A square minus B square. And next, what is the formula? Formula is IL square into 30. 30 we got now RL. Still we didn't get IL. We have found out Norton's current. Still we have not found out. This load current. Next, what I will show you is to find out load current. How to find out the load current? So first we'll draw the Norton's equivalent circuit. So we found out that there is a current of 6.66 and it is parallel to minus J30. and IL is the load resistance, that is 30. Okay, its magnitude it is. Okay, we got 6.66 from this Norton's current. This is 6.66. Getting it? Next, what we have written? We have written its parallel resistance and we have written the load resistance. So the load current is equal to what? It is nothing but main current into resistance of the opposite branch divided by sum of resistances. Fine. So we'll get the load current. Here see, they have left out this polar form. Whatever they have taken only the real part. They have not taken the imaginary part. So to find out the power, only the real part will be taken. Imaginary part will not be taken to find out the maximum power transfer. So we'll not take angle 45. Okay. J term or polar form is not taken here. We'll take only what is the load current? It is 4.7. I will take only IL square, that is 4.7 square into RL is how much? It is 30. So PM is equal to 662.7 watt. You will not get the real and imaginary part in the power transfer. You have to take only the real part from the answer. Don't take at an angle 45 or J30. Anything rectangular term and polar forms, imaginary part you don't take. You take only the part. So this was one way of solving it, that is to find out the short circuit current or Norton's current. The second method is what? You can find out the open circuit voltage here. So this method also can be followed. I am just showing here. Thevenin's, to find out open circuit voltage. What is the, again, voltage depends upon current and resistance. So you have to know the current in the first. So whatever you get the current into minus J20 will give you the voltage E0 here. Getting it? So there is no voltage drop here because it is an open circuit. There is no voltage drop here. So J10 is not considered. Only minus J20 into I. So first write the loop equation. You'll come to know I. I is J10. So I into minus J20. That is nothing but E0 is 200 volts. Fine. We got E0. Next, as usual, find Z equivalent. Z equivalent, we'll get it as minus J30. So 200 volts, okay, it is in series with minus J30. This is the Thevenin's equivalent circuit. And taking the magnitude of, we'll get the load resistance as 30. The same problem, it is done by using Thevenin's theorem. Previously, we had done using Norton's theorem. After knowing this much, you have to find out the load current, because in formula we want IL square into RL. So what is the load current? Load current is 4.7 at an angle minus 45. That is the current in 30 ohm. Getting it? It is nothing but 200 divided by the sum of the resistances. So just put the maximum power transfer is nothing but take the real part. So it is 4.71 square into 30. You will get 665. That is the maximum. Some 2 watts difference is there here. Here we got it as 662. It is nearly equal to 663. Here we got 665. It is okay. It's not a problem. So this is the answer when we went with Thevenin's also and Norton's also. Next, the last case we'll see. In the network shown, determine the impedance ZL for which the power transfer is maximum. Calculate the maximum power transfer. So you have to find out ZL. They only have given. ZL means what? Load is having impedance. Okay. And source also is having impedance here. Load also is having impedance. Source also is having impedance. So it means that it is case 3. So for case 3, first write down the formula. It is nothing but maximum power transfer is IL square into RL, and impedance ZL is nothing but conjugate of Z0. Okay, this star represents conjugate, complex conjugate. So first we'll draw the which is the load terminal here, ZL. So we'll go with going with Norton's theorem only. So the load terminal is shorted. Fine. When the load terminal is shorted, whatever the resistance opposite to the short circuit is completely neglected. So 4 plus J5 is neglected, and you have to find the current here. So what is the current? Norton's current? It is nothing but 100 at an angle 45 divided by 2. So it is 50 at an angle 45. So that is the Norton's current we got. So looking from the load terminal, so what will be the equivalent? 4 plus J5 are in series, that is in parallel to 2. So 4 plus J5 into 2 divided by 2 plus 4 plus J5. So you'll get Z equivalent. Remember here, see this Z equivalent is written in polar form. Next it is converted to rectangular form to find the conjugate. So what is the rectangular form? It is 1 plus 60 plus J into 0.32 ohm. Okay, that is Z naught. What will be the conjugate of it? So wherever the plus is there, you have to replace by minus sign. So conjugate, that is ZL is nothing but conjugate of Z naught. So ZL is 1.6 minus J 0.32 ohm. So that is the conjugate for the third case. Okay, when we tell the conjugate, you have to just, if it was minus, you have to write plus. If it is plus, you have to write it as minus. So next to put the Norton's equivalent circuit. So it is 50 at an angle 45, and it the Norton's current source has a parallel Z naught. Okay, and this is ZL. All the network is written here. Now you have to find out now load current IL. So what is the load current IL? IL is nothing but the main current, that is 50 at an angle 0 into resistance of the opposite branch, that is 1.6. Okay, divided by sum of resistances. Fine. Load current is equal to 50 main current into resistance of the opposite branch divided by sum of resistance. So you'll get load current. You know now ZL also, you know IL also. So what is the formula? PM is equal to, what is the formula we have written here? PM is equal to IL square into, so we got the, find out the load current after solving this, you'll get load current into RL. RL is nothing but ZL. Just multiply that both, you'll get the maximum power transfer. The last part of the problem is not done. You have to do it. Find out IL. Then after getting IL, multiply it with IL square. Okay, IL square into ZL will give the maximum power transfer. That is to be by using this formula. So these are the three cases of maximum power transfer from load to, from source to load. Hope you have understood. First, decide whether this one case PM is equal to, it may be E naught square divided by 4 RL, or it may be IL square into RL. If it is E naught square, go with Thevenin's output voltage, and if you are taking IL, go with Norton's current. After finding Norton's current, you have to find load current. IL represents no load current. Okay. In Norton's way of solving, you have to short circuit the load terminal. In Thevenin's, you have to open circuit the load terminal and follow the method. Next, you have to see what is Z naught. Okay, how much is Z naught? If it is R naught, RL is equal to R naught for first case. For second case, it is magnitude. Okay, magnitude of Z naught, and for third case, it is conjugate. So accordingly, go with it and find out the maximum power transfer. Okay, thank you.